However, CTM 2.0 is flipping over here and saying, oh, you know what? That breakout did not take off. It's time to exit this trade. The momentum is not over there. So whether or not, right, the third one is the charm where, like, you know, if we get another breakout over here and that one holds, or we don't get another breakout and CTM has you out of the trade now and this comes off and even breaks below this line of broken resistance, which has held us support one more time, you'll just be out of the trade. I don't know what's going to happen, and either do any of you. That's the whole idea of having CTM 2.0 to help walk and guide you through it. Let's talk about something very important that's taking place over here over the last, we'll call it 3 or 4 days. Listen up over here. This is going to help a lot of people. It's very important. So I'm going to start over here like this. Since CTM started together first, right? So we'll go 2022. And this is the launch date of CTM 2.0. And you could see that now we're looking at 4 trades. First trade wound up being good, 5.4%. And since then, we've taken 3 losses. A total, if I do it in my head, is 3.5%, right? So slightly positive, right? Slightly positive, 1.72%. And people are frustrated. All right. So this is so important here. You got to make sure that you pay attention right now. I'm going to go ahead and just give us some more history to go off of over here. I'm going to go back to 2015 to give us a bunch of history, right? And then I want you to see over here, right? So, I mean, great. 20,000% gain. Wow. A drawdown of 25%. Wait a second. A drawdown of 25% and a return of 20,000%. How do I do that? Right? The only way that you could do that is to be ready to be able to trade in and out in a series of small losses, and that could go on, easily for half a dozen to a dozen trades in a row. What do I mean by that? Like, if you're a visual learner, I know I'm a visual learner, take a look at this and watch over here, right? This is just the last 3 trades that have taken place. And in the last 3 trades, there's like some people that are frustrated, rightfully so, right? I'm not like anyone what they're feeling. That's what they're feeling. So you're frustrated because, I want it and I want it now. And like, hopefully this is the start of a nice bull move on Bitcoin, which potentially it could be. And that would be a great place to start. But we don't know that. We have no idea, right? What you want to be ready for is that there are often, let me start over here. This is a system that is profitable 30% of the time, 31.17% of the time since 2015 out of 247 trades. You're looking at 30% being profitable. What does that mean? Well, you better be prepared to lose 2/3 of the time and only be profitable 1/3 of the time, right? So for every 10 trades you take, you better be prepared to win on 3 of them and to lose on 6 or 7 of them. That's the mental fortitude you have to have. Now look at these list of trades and go back. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. We just did 3 in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And it happens all the time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then look at this. Look at wow, what is this? This is a 17% drawdown, right? Who just went on Bitcoin through a 50% plus drawdown on Bitcoin, right? You did it. You had no choice, but you did it, and because of that, you're a little bit more, let's say, battle tested. But be prepared over. This is happening in 2020. This is right before a big bull run took place on Bitcoin. This is taking place right over here in this area between May and July, right? And I'm sorry, between May and October. I'm just looking at here between May and July, right over here where I'm showing you that series of 12 losses in a row. Right after that, look at that, a bunch of losses in a row as well. Are you prepared? Could you go for a year like that if need be? I just want to take a look and show you. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 trades in a row. Out of those 14 trades, you're talking 14 losses in a row. It's like a 17% drawdown, a little less, 17% drawdown. Are you prepared to do that? Because if you're not, and look what happens after that. You have these two tiny winners, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice little boost, but then 1, 2. Are you prepared to get to where you need to be? And if you're not, make sure that you understand what you need to do in order to get there. All right? So, by the way, let's look at it like this. Now, that's for the next part. I'll come back to that. Is that lesson understood? Does everyone understood the fortitude that they need to have in order to be able to put up gains like this using a system that has a 30% win rate? Using a system that takes small gains and small losses in order to be able to produce a minority of the trades with big gains. All right. Look, go ahead and let me know, replay crew, on the comments below if that hits home for you, so you understand the fortitude that is required here right now and going forward. Now, the next part, that was number 1. In number 2, it's going to make a lot of sense to you further. It's going to further solidify, clarify why you're doing that and why it is an enormous advantage over something even like buy and hold. You must have the fortitude to withstand more than several in and outs with small losses in a row to make this work. This is why you must understand the strategy. Manual backtesting helps the most to gain that understanding. This auto backtest should inspire you to put the work in to do it. That's why I start off with the module. This is your focus. This is your goal, to inspire you. Then you need to work towards understanding how it works. That includes putting in that time of that manual backtest so that you see and understand that you will go through periods where you are grinding it out. All right, we got a lot. That's number 1. That's number 1 of this session, and an important lesson for everyone. We got a couple more, so we're going to get there. Let's start over here. So listen, this point over here now is talking about trading CTM 2.0 and doing it in the public markets, doing this in some type of 401k account, right? And just to frame this from the very beginning, I do believe this module over here, portfolio management, long-term financial goals, and risk tolerance, right? Obviously, you want to have the foundational strategy in place, that long-term dollar cost average. This is your core position of Bitcoin. And then we talk about the CTM advantage of making sure you achieve those goals that you want to achieve. Then we're taking it further, generating that excessive alpha. How do you go ahead and continue to grow this, right? How do you grow this even further, your Bitcoin stack? How are you funneling funds perhaps even towards this retirement account? For some in the US, right now, the best thing you could do is have a Roth potentially. I'm not an investment advisor. This course is for educational purposes. I am teaching you my experiences and helping you work towards gaining that core knowledge. He said, look, huge amounts of learning followed. I am not the only one who could say that the benefits of CTM's teachings are exponential. For some time, I have learned daily about trading and investing Bitcoin and the macro, right? And that's what we do over here. But for some people, having a Roth IRA, right, contribution limits, if you're making under a certain amount of money, is like $6,000 or $7,000, whatever it is right now. And you want to go ahead and with those tax dollars, put them in a retirement account where you're not going to be, you get to grow that from now until you start pulling on it, right? And you get to then withdraw on it tax-free. The overcoming the tax situation is a big deal. So for other people, though, who are not able to contribute to those limits, they may wish to start a small business. Maybe that small business is generating excessive gains. in order to produce profits for that business. And then they're looking to open a 401k Roth within their business where the contribution limits are higher, $20,000 a year, and they're going to get towards those goals they want to get to. What we're doing here is trying to refine the best strategy to go ahead and to thrive, to generate wealth, to go ahead and consolidate that wealth, to grow financial generational wealth, to be able to do that in a way where you're making sure to protect yourself, to protect your assets. And when you have the CTM hive mind working together, it makes it easier for everyone involved. But this is part of the process over here. Now, we'll talk about the advantage. The 8-hour is more profitable than the daily. For some people, I'm not talking about on Grayscale, I'm talking about on Bitcoin US dollar, right? The 8-hour could generate the highest return. It does require the most work. For some people, they may prefer a solution on the daily, which is manageable for everyone in order to still put up incredible returns and doing it know when to be in the market and when not. You're looking here at Bitcoin on Grayscale trading, and you could see there are times when, everyone's familiar with this massive 53% drawdown. And what was the drawdown total over here? I don't even know. But this massive drawdown over 50% occurring back to back. And if you're doing that here on the daily time frame, by the way, nicer not to have that 50% drawdown, right? But a drawdown at 30%. That number one is a good thing to get us going over here. Starting off with that psychological fortitude needed, an understanding of why you need to do what you need to do.